The Lantern of Hope. In a small, crumbling village surrounded by misty hills lived two siblings, Mina, 12, and her younger brother Ravi, 8. They had no parents, no warm home, and no certainty of where their next meal would come from. Their world was defined by scarcity, but they clung to each other like two fragile leaves on a lone tree. The siblings lived in a dilapidated shack near the edge of the village. Inside, they had little more than a rickety bed, an old quilt, and a lantern that their mother had left behind before her passing. It was a simple lantern, worn with age, but Mina often told Ravi it was special. "It's a magic lantern," she whispered one cold night as they huddled together. "When the time comes, it will guide us to something better." Ravi's wide eyes sparkled with hope. "Will it lead us to a place where we can have bread every day?" he asked. "Bread, and maybe even jam," Mina replied with a soft smile, though her heart ached with doubt. Days turned to weeks, and their struggles only grew. They scavenged for food, offering odd jobs to villagers for a few coins or scraps. Despite the hardships, Mina always ensured Ravi had a little more to eat, even if it meant going to bed hungry herself. One frosty evening, as the wind howled through the cracks in their shack, Ravi pointed at the lantern. "Can we light it tonight? Maybe it'll show us something." Mina hesitated. The lantern had little oil left, just enough for one last use. But seeing the hope in her brother's eyes, she nodded. "All right, let's light it." As the flame flickered to life, the lantern cast a warm, golden glow that seemed almost alive. Ravi gasped. Shadows danced on the walls, forming shapes that resembled a path winding through the hills. "Do you see that?" Ravi whispered. Mina nodded, her heart pounding. The shadows seemed to beckon them. Without another word, she grabbed the lantern and wrapped Ravi in their quilt. Together they stepped into the cold night, following the shadowy trail. The path was long and steep, but the lantern's light never wavered. It guided them through dense woods and across icy streams. Finally, as dawn broke, they emerged into a hidden valley bathed in sunlight. In the valley stood a small, bustling farm. A kind-faced woman was tending to the crops, while a group of children played nearby. The woman looked up and spotted the siblings, her eyes softening with concern and warmth. "Are you lost, little ones?" she asked, her voice gentle. Mina hesitated, but Ravi stepped forward. "We're looking for a home," he said simply. The woman smiled and opened her arms. "Then you've found one." From that day on, Mina and Ravi became part of the farm family. They had bread every day, sometimes with jam, and the warmth of people who cared for them. The lantern, now empty of oil, sat on their new windowsill as a reminder of the journey they had taken and the hope that had carried them through. In their darkest moment, the magic of belief and the bond of family had led them to a brighter future.